Hi there. Today we're going to be looking at some basic vocab that's dealing with some geometry vocabulary that we're going to run into a lot here at the beginning of the year. So a lot of these things you've probably heard of before. I just want to kind of dust off your brain cells and remind you what they are. So a point is just a point in space. One singular point. So we denote it with a little dot, and there's usually a letter next to it as its label or name. So the way we would read this purple point right here is we would say point A. A line looks like this. It goes on forever and ever on both ends, but we can't draw a line that's going on forever and ever, so we use arrowheads on the ends. We can name our lines or call our lines a couple of different ways. So one way we can name a line is find 2 points on that line and say that this line is called line AB. If you don't want to write the word line, you can do a shortcut. Instead of writing line AB, you can do the names of those 2 points and then do the line symbol over top, which is just almost exactly like what you see here, a line with 2 arrows on either end. If you want to name it a different way, you could do just those 2 letters in reverse order. We could also call this line BA with the line symbol. Another way we can name this is, if you haven't noticed this little L up here, sometimes lines are just called by one letter. It's not a point on the line, it's a label that's near one of the arrowheads. We could also call this line, line L. If we are dealing with what's called a plane is a flat surface, kind of like a floor or a wall, except for it goes on forever and ever and ever. Wouldn't work so in your house. You can't have a floor that goes on forever and ever and ever, or your house would never end. So the way we draw a plane is we draw, looks kind of like a rhombus here. And then we can label or call this plane a couple of different things. Sort of like with the line, we could call line L. If you see a letter in the corner of one of the planes that doesn't have a point attached to it, that's the name of that plane. So I could call this plane plane K. Or if you see 3 points that are not all on the same line together, so A, B, and C, I can't draw one line that connects all of those, you can call it by those 3 points. So I could also call this plane ABC. Nothing too crazy there. Array is sort of like a piece of a line. It has a definite endpoint. What I'm talking about is this right here. This is an endpoint. So it doesn't go on forever and ever on this side, but on the other side it goes on forever and ever. When we name array, we name it by 2 points, sort of like we do for a line. And we always name it starting with the endpoints, the end that does not have an arrow, and then what other point is it going towards. So I could call this ray HI, so I could write out ray HI, or I can do a shortcut like we did here. I can do HI with a ray symbol over top. The ray symbol is like the arrow symbol, or the line symbol, except for it only has the arrow on the same end that the ray is pointing in. Notice that this one, the endpoint is now I. So this would be ray IH. That's a different ray than this one because the endpoint is different even though they have same letters. So that takes care of all of our figures we're going to talk about for now. Now we need to talk about some kind of relationship words here. The first one is collinear. If 2 points are collinear, that means they are on the same line. So to give you an example here, here's line, here's point C, here's point D. C and D, point C and point D are collinear. If I have a third point E, see how that point E is not on the same line as C and D? Point E is not collinear. Coplanar is the same idea except we're dealing with a plane. So I'm just going to use the example we have right here. Points A, B, and C are coplanar because they fall on the same plane. If I were to have some sort of line that would be extending, let's just say from point B, and then I had another point on that line, let's call it F. Point F is not coplanar with A, B, and C because it doesn't fall on the same plane. It would be on some sort of different plane. Like for instance, F, A, and B can make a plane, but it's not on that same plane K as A, B, and C. The last little vocabulary word we're going to talk about for now is opposite rays. Opposite rays point in opposite directions. I'm going to draw you a picture here so you have a better idea. So, if you look here, you have some different rays going on. Remember, rays can't have to start at an ending point and then point in some direction. So from K to J, I have KJ. When I draw it as a ray symbol over top, I need to start with my endpoint and then have with the arrow end at the other direction. And then I also have a ray from K going towards L. So that would be KL. These two rays are opposite. They have a common endpoint, but KJ is going this direction and KL is going the other way. That's what makes them opposite rays. Not every ray that has, not every two rays that have the same endpoint would be opposite. Let me draw you another example here. I have NM, I have NP. Those ones are not opposite rays because they are not pointing in exact opposite directions. It needs to look like basically a straight line. That is it for now. The next thing we'll do is we will be in some other videos looking at pictures and using those vocabulary words here to describe those pictures. Hopefully this helps you get an idea of what these terms mean. Have a fantastic day.